Hey everybody, it's David with Get Found Marketing, and today I want to come at you guys with something that affects every last website in existence that can actually cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars in lawsuits. So what we're going to talk about today is ADA website compliance. So first, let's begin about what exactly is ADA website compliance. In fact, what is the ADA? Well, the ADA is an actual act. It's called the American Disabilities Act that was created to help people with disabilities access everyday benefits of life, of modern day life. So if you're going, for instance, into an office building or a restaurant, they made sure that restaurants have, handicap accessible ramps, parking, bathroom stalls big enough to accommodate people with disabilities. And we can all agree that it's very important to be able to cater to people that aren't as fortunate as us and have disabilities. And just like anything else, the internet is kind of like a necessity at this point, right? The internet has kind of enabled us to do lots of things that we couldn't do before online, or we just could do offline, like register cars, pay taxes, get paid. So it's really kind of important at this point that we use the internet fluidly, even people with disabilities. So the ADA compliance has been enacted for online websites, but the area is so gray. And what's been happening as of late, a lot of people have been getting lawsuits. And it's crazy, but it's actually true. Meaning, if you type it in, you'll see, we'll actually put some links to descriptions of some lawsuits happened recently, both on a national level and even a local city level. So if you have a regular website, whether it be a practitioner website, a restaurant website, or if you have any type of website that connects you to a physical place or business, you could be served with a lawsuit. And that's the last thing you want as a business owner. So obviously it's known if you're a building owner or a restaurant owner or a apartment building owner, the codes are pretty clear on how to become ADA compliant. But what about websites? How do you, if you're an online business or an online entrepreneur, how do you make sure you're ADA compliant so you don't get sued? Well, it's kind of a gray area. There are no solid structured scenarios and details to really make sure you're in compliance. There's only good methodologies. And because there are no clear accessibility guidelines, it leaves you open to attack. And I know it sounds crazy. We don't necessarily want to be sued, but it's happening and we want to prevent it. So this following list that I'm going to give you guys is going to put you in a good light and in a light to kind of fight back to make sure that you guys don't get sued and you are ADA compliant and you are helping people with disabilities. So number one on the list of becoming ADA compliant is the very necessary alt tag. Now, in some of our videos, you can guys check in the video description, we talk about alt tags as being a part of good SEO benefit. Same thing goes here. This is a great benefit for you because not only is it gonna help your search engine optimization, but it's also going to keep you in ADA compliance. So what alt tags effectively do is that they have software that will spider and tell the person what the image is. So if they can't see it, if they're blind, or if they're maybe even hard of hearing, it'll maybe display in bigger text what this image is. You're going to use those alt texts to describe the images, to describe the video, even the audio files. You can put alt text, and it's just going to be a better product overall, right? So even though you're not just doing it for people with disabilities, you're doing it to inherently create a better version of your site. So number two on the list to create a better ADA compliant website is to make sure you have transcripts for video and audio. Now, I'm going to put links in the video description to some services that I really think are going to really help you guys get those transcripts done, because obviously, depending on the content you have, it could take a really long time, and some of these services kind of do it like literally within minutes. It's really good. It's accurate enough that it's going to help you guys. But the transcripts, again, if it's on a page, it has SEO benefit. So again, I know it sounds crazy. It's like, well, why do I gotta do this for disabled people and whatever? But you know what? You're not just doing it for disabled people to be able to access your website. You're also doing it to enhance your own content. And Google likes that, right? And just search engines love that. So you're building a better experience, and now you're gonna become ADA compliant. So another tactic on the shot list here become ADA compliant is defining what language that your site's in. And that should be placed in the header code. Now again, if you guys don't know how to do it, we'll explain it in one of the articles in the description, or you can subscribe and your developer or anybody who's working and coding on your site can help you do this. And this is also a part of other videos that we'll talk about in regards to a thing called schema. So that will also help ADA compliance. But right now, you want to depict and you want people to know, and obviously AI to know what is your native language for their site. Is it English? Is it Spanish? Maybe you have both. Maybe you have an English version, and then on a subdomain is the Spanish version. So you definitely want to depict what is the main language of the site. The next on our list is to give alternate solutions to problems regarding user input errors. Now, some websites are very heavy on JavaScript, and depending on how, let's say you have a lot of pop-ups or user intent videos that come up, and then it loads after the page loads, that could be a problem, right? Because maybe a person with a disability wants to be able to access that content. So where can that content be? Technically, what you need is an accessibility page. And that accessibility page, if on your site, kind of gives them, hey, listen, this is some stuff that's available to you to help use those other pages that are usually either pop-ups, or maybe these offers aren't shown directly to the public. I know a lot of people use those landing pages for funnels, but the thing is that when you're creating an accessibility page, you're kind of telling anybody who is coming to the site with a disability, saying, hey, listen, we actually care about what's going on. We know you might have some problem with some JavaScript on the site. Here is an alternative input form. So they can actually have separate fields. Now, I know some of the forms aren't super pretty because they have to have a field after a field after a field after a field. But then the nice thing about it is that spiders can read that. They can say, here, this is an empty field. This is an empty field, for your name. This is your phone number. So we come to the conclusion that, we want to be flashy for the, everyday user, but for somebody with a disability, we still want to be able to have them contact us because it's just going to be good business to be able to have them still be able to reach out to us. So it's a really effective method, but if you put it in the accessibility page, it'll definitely help you becoming into or aligning with compliance. And last but not least, and this again is a core benefit for you to help your SEO, is navigation and links, okay? When you navigate, you should have a lot of times in the links, you could put a link title, okay? There should be text in the link title. There should be an organized main navigation link and then the children underneath. So for instance, let's say you are a dentist and you offer, crowns. You could say same-day crowns and crowns for kids, and each sub-navigation will kind of tell you exactly where you are. So the software can read it, can spider it. Google can actually give you benefit because your hierarchy actually makes sense. So a lot of people who have older websites, you're really going to have to up the navigation game. So what else is necessary to become ADA compliant? Well, there are some code structures that will help you. We're going to put another link in the description on our website to go to the actual compliance site, the code structurally wise, that you can give to your developers or even your marketers that can kind of work with the developers in hand. Ultimately, ADA compliance concerns everybody. And if you have a website from 10 years ago and you're doing things the same way, it's time to raise the bar. It's just gonna help you with your marketing efforts, your presentation efforts. It's gonna detract anybody trying to sue you or frustrated customers or frustrated users. It's just gonna help the overall big picture in your profile on the internet. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to know more about ADA compliance, don't forget to subscribe if you guys didn't do it already, and hit the bell for the notifications when important information about web development and marketing comes down the pipe. Also, follow the links in this video description to getfoundmarketing.org, and there you'll be able to see other links and information on how to become more ADA compliant. Again, it's a work in progress. there's nothing set in stone, and we know that the dynamics of the internet are ever changing, and there's so much you want to do with your website. But it's that time, guys. You know, we got to raise the bar. People want to use websites like anyone else, and you know what? It just makes for a better experience, and it can also make you more money. All right, everybody, I'm David Scarpetto with Get Found Marketing, and listen, if you guys are lost, now it's time to get found.